Hello, everybody! I'm Andy Lagopus.
And I'm PinkStar. It's nice to know about all of you once again.
Yeah, for sure. And welcome to our first episode of It's Called a Podcast, Sweetheart, filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yes, when we mention it about live audience, we're not talking about actually going live on YouTube. We're talking about going live in front of our Patreon audience.
Yes. At the $10 tier, you can join the audience and listen to us record this live. And you'll hear all our screw-ups, all our missteps and all the moments like that.
Exactly.
And you'll be able to ask questions and such as they come up.
Yeah, and you can hear us overlap each other all the time. It's more... It happens more often than you think. It doesn't sound like it on the recording when it's uploaded on YouTube and at Spotify, but it happens so often. So,
sorry.
Kudos to our editor who helps us modify that to sound more fluently.
Yes, big props to our editor. So, again, that's patreon.com/ZNN. $10 a month gets you access to the live recordings, and we hope to see you there.
Yes, we'd love to have more people here on the live audience section that we are just currently starting out with. So this is going to be a very new experience for us.
Indeed it is. What do you say we get into the episode?
Okay, then. Well, first of all, let's not forget that currently there has been a lot of discussion right now because of the current teaser trailer that has been released over almost a week ago.
Yes, and I have some corrections from that. Apparently the thing I couldn't name was an elephant seal.
Oh yes, but we were reacting to the trailer for the first time to identify all the animals that were present on the last segment.
Yes, and I did ask Disney what their names were, but they said it's confidential for now. So we'll have to see.
It makes sense that it's confidential. And well,
it does.
As of right now, the teaser trailer has over 7 million views on YouTube.
And as of time of recording, it's only been out for, less than a week?
Yeah, because it was released last Tuesday, from what I remember.
Yep, and we're recording on a Monday. So, yeah, 7 million views in less than 7 days. That is impressive.
Yes, considering this is a teaser trailer, yes. So I just can't imagine how loud, how big the actual official trailer is going to be when it's released. I'm gonna think it's gonna be released in 1 month or 2, perhaps.
Interesting prediction. We'll have to see.
Yeah, because currently I'm willing to believe that right now, because Lilo and Stitch live action is on theaters, perhaps the Zootopia teaser trailer is going to be also on the previews, maybe. So people are becoming aware that there's a sequel coming up, because I'm pretty sure there are tons of people out there who still don't know that there's a Zootopia 2 coming up.
Yeah, like all the time I say, oh yeah, I run a Zootopia fan site. We're getting ready for the sequel. And they're like, there's a sequel?
Yes.
Disney, give us a commission or something. We're going to be doing a lot of work for you. We're doing it for free. Like, we would do it for free anyways, but it would be nice to, collaborate, you know?
Yes.
Nah, I'm kidding. They probably won't. Anyways.
Yeah,
maybe.
There might be a surprise of coming, but
who
knows? Who knows? But the thing is that more people are becoming aware that there's a sequel coming up, and this teaser trailer is going to help a lot. So,
oh yes,
just have to wait and see. I really hope that the official Zootopia 2 trailer really has tons of views by the time it gets released and becomes very anticipated from everybody.
Yeah, it is highly, highly anticipated, and from what I've seen of people reacting to it online, it's been very well received. People have been saying that it's a perfect teaser in that it doesn't spoil anything. like so many trailers do.
Yeah, they only give us like a general idea of something that could happen in the movie, but there's no context of anything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The only thing we know is that Judy and Nick are technically protecting a snake from being taken away from the cops.
Or by the cops.
Well, by the cops, yeah, sorry. Yeah, being taken away by the police in general.
Yep. And we also know that Bellwether is back in some concept, like in some way. Maybe she's a consulting criminal of sorts?
Back, all the way from the prison? Yeah, and there's another villain in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Whose
Yes.
identity is unknown.
But speaking of Bellwether, let's get into today's topic.
Oh, sure. Right away.
I mean, is there anything else we need to cover? I don't think there's been any major news in the past week. So.
I think it's, from what I know, remember the Dynamite comics? I think issue number 3 is going to be released pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Issue number 3 is making its way out to people slowly. Like, I don't know what's up with their distribution network, but it is not getting out very fast. Really, this should have been the issue with Flash on the cover.
Yes, apparently it's already available since March, but...
They said it was supposed to release in March. I don't think it did.
And the number is issue number 4 is supposed to be released right now on, as in right now because, well, for those who don't know, this recording is going to go on our YouTube, on Spotify channel on June. But so the issue number 4 of the Dynamite comics is supposed to be already available on May, where we're recording right now. I don't know what's happening. That it's getting delayed. I don't get it.
We'll have to see. We will have to see. And hey, if anyone from Dynamite is listening to this, we would be happy to speak to somebody in the distribution center or the distribution chain of command. Come on, give us an explanation here.
And
besides, we've heard that the editor of the comics sounds exactly like Jason Bateman. So
yes,
apparently, according to Jeff Parker, which if you haven't seen that episode of the podcast yet, go check it out.
Yes. We can really know more about the new Zootopia comics in both interviews with Jeff and with also Alessandro, the artist.
Yep.
I'm checking right now on the official Dynamite website, and the issue number 6 for this comics comes up in July apparently, and the only cover has is, funny enough, Bellwether.
Okay, that'll be interesting.
But curiously enough, there's nothing related to Bellwether on the summary for this story. There's nothing that involves her, so why put her on the cover art? But whatever.
That'll be interesting to find out.
Oh well, let's continue on as we mentioned now.
Yes.
Bellwether.
Yes, let's get into today's episode, because today's episode is one I have been eagerly wanting to share with people. I figured this out years ago, but I never had the right sort of framework to explain it all. I wanted to make it a full video. I wanted to do a full production on it, but at this point, I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to spill it. Going to spill it all here.
Okay.
On It's Called a Podcast, Sweetheart. Today, I'm going to tell you about the Bellwether conspiracy.
Okay, now, tell us about it.
Tell me, when you hear that phrase, what comes to mind? What do you think I'm talking about?
I got spaced out for a moment. Can you repeat the phrase again?
No worries. You're probably thinking of the whole Night Howlers thing, how she's darting predators to make them go savage and such. Basically what Judy figured out in the movie, yeah?
Yes.
What if I told you it goes deeper than that?
Well, I don't see a problem there. It it figures that they could be something deeper.
What's the main problem people have with Bellwether as a villain?
Well, from what I can see and from what I've read and heard is that by the point that Zootopia was released, apparently people were already tired of the twist villain trope because Pixar has applied it. Even recent Disney films already applied it, and they say that it's not new anymore. Like, why they come up with a twist villain like this?
Right. The previous 3 Disney films had twist villains. Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, and Big Hero 6.
Yes.
Big Hero 6 was the worst of them. They progressively got worse and worse.
Yes.
There's, like, Turbo in Wreck-It Ralph, fantastic twist villain.
Yeah, it was actually done pretty well.
Hans in Frozen, yeah. But kind of...
50-50.
Yeah, 50-50. Callahan in Big Hero 6 was so stupid. No offense to Disney, but his motivations made no sense. I could get into that, it's a whole rant, but I'm not going to right here.
We're focusing on Zootopia.
Yes. So by the time Zootopia comes around, Disney's got a bit of a downward trend when it comes to twist villains. And, well, people see Bellwether as just another example of that, right?
Yeah. Like there are people who have said that they didn't see it coming, but a lot of people have said that they had to do this again. That's
Yes.
can say also 50-50 reaction. Like people say that I can see it coming. Other people like, oh, that's surprising. I didn't think it was her.
Well, I think part of the problem is that there was no telegraphing to the audience that she was going to be the villain.
Yes, like we have perhaps mentioned in other episodes that the Zootopia marketing, when the movie was not released yet, is that they tried to show as little as possible about the story, because otherwise it will be ruined throughout the trailers.
Well, not only that, but up until the point where she's revealed as the twist villain, she's generally seen as just a side character, you know? Nothing major. Nothing important.
Yeah, they don't give us any hint that there's something coming up with her.
And that's the point. Let's get into it.
All right.
Bellwether is Disney's best villain of all time, I feel. And that is quite a statement. I know. She's going up against the likes of Judge Claude Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame, who has one of the best villain designs and songs and like characters. Like, he is probably the quintessential Disney villain.
I was actually thinking about Judge Frollo, and it's sad because The Hunchback, it's a movie that doesn't get a lot of recognition from Disney nowadays.
Yeah, it's kind of underrated, but I can't really blame parents for not wanting their little kids to watch it. I didn't watch it till I was a teenager.
Yes, it still amazes me that they decided to do a film like The Hunchback. It's a really good film, don't get me wrong. It's very good. But for Disney
It just
to do
does
that...
not, sound like a Disney brand one, no.
Exactly.
But it gave us the quintessential Disney villain. And he's conniving, he's manipulative, he's creepy, and he has an amazing song.
Yeah.
Bellwether has none of those. But that's the point. She is Disney's most realistic villain. She is a politician. She is manipulative, cunning, a genius, even. She's always several steps ahead, but when things don't go her way, she is also very good at adapting on the fly.
I just want to point out, if you want to share your screen to see pictures and everything, we don't see it.
Oh, yes. So,
there you go.
This whole thing actually begins with a t-shirt. That's how I started to unravel this. I'm serious. This t-shirt right here. Walter or Jesse's t-shirt from the end of the movie where he's got this symbol on it. Now, it could be written off as just a random t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
It just like a band shirt or something. But we see later this enforcer guy dressed in a uniform of some type with this symbol on it sewn in as a symbol of affiliation.
It's the same one.
The same symbol. The ram's skull with the crown. The symbol of Bellwether's gang.
Yeah, because now that we think about it, yeah, like Bellwether didn't work alone. She had supporters.
Yeah, she had a whole gang of supporters. Not only a gang, but she had criminal connections who were producing the Night Howler drug. She had Walter, Jesse, Doug at the very least, as well as at least 2 sheep on the ZPD. And this symbol was shown off in The Art of Zootopia as well, as one of the many symbols at the bar The Cloven Hoof, which Jared Bush had this to say on it. The Cloven Hoof was like a biker bar where the sheep hung out in the seedy part of town. There are so many fun details in it. So, this got me thinking. The connection of the symbol got me thinking. Yes, I will note that this guy is not a cop. But Bellwether does have cops with her. Like, when she comes up to approach Judy, she's got 2 guards flanking her that are in police uniform and official police uniform at that. So that got me thinking, though. Where have I seen that before? Because this isn't the first time this is not the first time we see this symbol in the movie. We see this symbol at the very beginning.
At the beginning? During Judy's play?
No, not that far back. Sorry. But in Try Everything, when she first arrives at the city, we see that same exact symbol.
Oh. And who's wearing it?
Yeah, it is so big, you don't see it. Nobody notices the characters behind Judy when she steps out of the train. But there's a rhinoceros wearing that t-shirt with khaki shorts. Now, again, could be a coincidence, right?
Yes.
Could just be a band shirt. We do see him following her later on, but he could just also be getting off the train and going to wherever he's going. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But then he starts appearing more. So that there is Doug, actually, harassing Nick. But, the rhino that almost steps on Judy after the whole cute fuzzy wuzzy tail between her legs speech that Nick gives, it's the same rhino.
Oh, we don't see the logo.
Well, you only see his back here. But it's the same shirt, same pants. I'm 85% sure this is the same rhino. And he's just got his groceries there. But then, he shows up again. At the DMV.
DMV. Yeah. Oh.
And notice, he is not waiting in line normally. He is looking directly at Nick and Judy. Nobody else is even looking at them. Nobody else is noticing, only him. And he's staring daggers at them.
And considering, and we have to remember that this mammal is
And there's
prey.
that symbol again.
The symbol again, we can see it. And this animal is a prey.
Technically, yes.
He's big and everything, like elephant are big, it's bigger, yes. But they're both prey at the end.
Yes, exactly. So, there's that. He's standing there, stanced up, by the way. Like, he's aura farming, for sure. As the kids say. So we'll get to that. And he's back.
At the press conference.
He is at the press conference Why is he at the press conference?
He's not part of any news channel.
He does not have any sort of microphone or camera.
Only the cell phone.
He is just on his phone. And he's not the only one at the press conference either. Doug is there.
How did he get to be a news reporter?
That's the thing, he's not. But he was the one who asked a very important question. So, predators are the only ones going savage.
Exactly. I remember that.
He's the one who asked that. A very leading question designed to get you thinking a very specific way. And guess who put Judy up on the stage there when Judy did not have PR training?
Yeah, Bellwether.
Yeah, Bellwether.
She let Judy mess up her speech, like put the predators against prey, and then took her
she
away.
set it up. She set it up by having Doug there to cause a leading question. She didn't know exactly what Judy would say.
Exactly. That was the thing. What if Judy had still followed Nick's advice to how to answer questions?
Then she may have deflected it a bit. But the question was still there. It was still posed. And it was still very potentially damaging. And Judy just fell right into it. Like, once she was comfortable up there, that's when Doug asked. So, he was waiting for the right moment. And what did Bellwether say when Judy got off the stage? Oh, you did fine.
Yes. She did great during her press conference, apparently, according to Bellwether.
And look at that smile. Like, it looks sweet and innocent, but she is thinking, yes, yes, yes. Kind of Palpatine in my mind, but you get the idea. So, how does this connect then? How does this rhino connect to Bellwether? Why is he at all these key moments of the movie? I believe he is a spy. He is a tail, specifically assigned to Judy Hopps. Watching her every move. Or at least the broad strokes of every move.
Now that I think about it, why did he took a train to Zootopia? I say, why he arrived to Zootopia the same time as Judy?
Yeah, which is a good question. And then I looked back even further.
Was he present on her graduation? Oh.
Yes, he was.
Why? Is it really the same shirt?
Was he present at her graduation, where Bellwether gave her the badge?
Perhaps she saw potential in Judy that she could lead her to do what she wanted?
Yes. But he is where Bellwether is. There is a connection between them, and I believe that he is a member of the gang.
Wait a second. Now that I'm thinking about it, isn't this the same rhino we see when both Judy and Nick decide to look for the secret lab with Doug?
Actually, I did check that. No, it is not.
Okay.
Here, let me pull that up really quick because I don't actually have a screenshot of that. Yeah, I'm trying to find the time code.
Ah, there it is.
Okay, yeah. Yep. Nope, not
rhino.
the same one. Different shirt.
And
which in animation means a different model. That one has a t-shirt that says Born Feral, which, actually, now that you mention it, is another of the designs in the Art of Zootopia at the Cloven Hoof. So it very well could be the same guy in a different t-shirt, but I am going off the assumption that a different outfit means a different character. Just for the sake of this, you know?
It could be.
It's questionable. It very well may be that this guy is also the same one. The Born Feral one is also seen in Sahara Square at one point, I believe. But I did also check to make sure that this wasn't just a random background character that Disney reused just for crowds and such. They don't have repeating characters.
They're all different ones.
Yeah, Zootopia is so good. They have different background NPCs in different scenes. So this guy, his placement is deliberate.
Interesting.
He is actually following Judy around.
The thing is, how did he get to the DMB earlier than Judy and Nick? That's the thing.
That's a good question. Let's set out a timeline. Bellwether, as we know by the end, she knows all about Lionheart's plot. Like, she knows exactly what Lionheart is doing.
That he's hiding up the animals so it won't go to public, that only predators are the ones that are going with this ordeal.
Yes. She knows where he is hiding them. She knows why. Because she's the one behind them going savage in the first place. Given that she knows that, and she knows the details of Emmett Otterton's case, I believe she left a trail of deliberate breadcrumbs, specifically for Judy to follow.
Well, she expected for Judy to find out about the case, but she didn't take into account Nick into the equation.
Exactly. Nick is a wild card. Pun absolutely intended. So, let me just, alright. I'm pulling a pirate software here, alright? Let's establish a timeline. We have Otterton's case.
Yes.
Bellwether knows exactly what happened with him. He was a florist who found out about the night howlers.
Because he knows about plants.
Yes, he knows about plants. And was taking the info to Mr. Big. After Yoga.
He was going to warn him about the situation.
Yep. And on the way, he is sniped by Doug in the limo. And is taken to Cliffside Asylum.
Yes.
All right. So, at some point in this timeline, Bellwether, at this point, Bellwether knows his plans and is tracking him. Specifically, with the jam cams. You see here, ignore the fact that this is in Spanish. I don't know what's up with that.
Last known sighting, yes.
Yes, last known sighting.
What Clawhauser mentions, there's no witnesses, no evidence.
Yes, but look at the angle of that photo. This is taken by a traffic camera.
Yes.
A traffic camera which Bellwether uses frequently and has very easy to pull up. She also has cops in the ZPD able to inform on cases and such. So I'm thinking at some point he likely reported. He reported it, but nothing happened. So she took that info that he was onto her and targeted him. She tracked his movements with the traffic cameras, and she made sure that the one piece of evidence that the ZPD had was a traffic camera shot. Now, why would that be the case?
Apparently having no leads whatsoever.
Right. Well, it's a lead, but it is a lead that specifically relies on the ZPD's tracking database. It's a ZPD operation here.
Yes.
So she is assuming that whoever is going to try to solve this case will have access to that.
But also here's the thing. How did she know that Judy was going to come up to her to help her? No. I mean, in the movie, when Nick came up with the idea of looking up on the traffic cameras, how did she ever figure out or think that perhaps Judy was
Oh no,
going
Nick
to...
and Judy went off the rails, but as any good dungeon master knows, there are ways to guide players to your desired outcome. So here is the facts of the case. What happened to Otterton? So, here is how I believe Bellwether expected the case to go. Judy assigned. She then is expected to look at the traffic cam to find the limo that picked him up. Here's the interesting part. At some point, she may have learned that Judy wasn't actually in the system. So, it very well may be that the Rhino was stationed at the DMV just on the off chance that Judy goes there to find the info. Yeah, my handwriting is terrible.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Okay, so find license plate, find Monchus. Okay, so she expects Judy to be assigned, her to use the traffic cameras to find the limo, find the license plate, find Monchus. Monchus gets started. They then use traffic cams to follow the wolves to Cliffside and arrest Lionheart. That's her expectations for the case. Now, it goes a bit off the rails. Judy recruits Nick to go to the Oasis.
They get a license plate.
To get the license plate.
They go to the DMV. But that also comes with the question, how come the Rhino was there? How did he was going to know that Judy was going to be at the DMV?
I believe that Bellwether had it as a backup, as a contingency in case she, for whatever reason, did not use the police resources to figure out to run the plate. I think he was there just as a contingency on that part. I don't think she expected to need him to report anything while Judy was doing the investigation. So, him looking directly at her, almost like angry, it makes a bit more sense. It's like, crap, I actually have to work now.
Another thing is, if there were cops that are sheep that are also in the CPD that are working for her, we see that this Rhino is a spy tailing her. But why did she pick specifically Judy? Couldn't she pick another cop who was prey to solve the case?
My thinking is that she didn't want just a prey animal to solve the case. She wanted someone small and likable, someone who could be a good pawn for publicity, which she does try to turn Judy into later. She wants her to be the face of the ZPD. She sees in Judy the potential to be the perfect lackey. Unwitting and unable to connect her to anything because she doesn't know. She's just doing her job. She's just being a good cop.
Didn't she ever think of the possibility for Judy to quit being a cop?
Honestly, I don't think she did. She seemed genuinely shocked when Judy turned in her badge.
Like, this was not part of the plan.
Just, yeah, not part of the plan. But by that point, Judy had already fulfilled her role. So, anything else would have been a bonus. Continuing on, Judy deviates more from the plan by going to Mr. Big, but does eventually get back on track with finding Monchus, the driver that was attacked by Otterton when he went savage.
Yes.
This is the point she was trying to get her to.
Yeah,
So,
because Doug was waiting the exact moment to snipe him.
yeah. And I feel bad for Doug because he was probably waiting for hours. Just like, is she coming? Is she coming? And I've been waiting here all day. But he is a good sniper, so he probably didn't care too much. Judy did go a bit off the rails to going to City Hall, but once she was back on, she failed her plan perfectly. They got the end result she was after.
For Lionheart to be arrested.
Lionheart arrested, disgraced, and very publicly disgraced. And the existence of the savage mammals revealed to the world. So, I believe that was her plan regarding the case. But I also believe it goes deeper. I believe the whole thing was a game between her and Lionheart that Lionheart didn't even know he was playing.
Oh?
Let me make a new one. Okay, so, why make predators go savage? Why?
Like she said, she wanted prey to fear them. Because predators are a minority on the city.
As she said, fear is power.
Yes, also.
Prey fears predator and you stay in power? Pretty much. At the beginning of the movie, though, Zootopia was relatively calm. There was no major fear in the city. She had to create that. So, how to create that? Doug. She has an associate who is a brilliant chemist and fanatically devoted to her cause. So, Doug is a chemist loyal to her. But Lionheart is an obstacle. So, she could just dart predators and have them go savage and such and cause a crisis, but she doesn't want Lionheart to be the one to save the day. He's an obstacle, he's a sucky boss, he's a bit of a bully. He's also very easily manipulated, apparently. My bet is that she is the one who was in charge of finding and locating the predators who go savage.
Right.
So she causes it, and then she reports it. So that Lionheart can abduct it and contain, which she can then use uncover his conspiracy to abduct and contain these savage animals, leading to Gone and the fear. Now, this is the shakiest part of the whole conspiracy because it's all subtext, right? There are a few certain lines that on the surface make some degree of sense, but don't actually. Chief Bogo says in the beginning that we have 14 missing mammal cases. This is and City Hall is right on my tail to find them. This is priority number 1.
Is apparently making it a big deal.
Yes, they made it a big deal, but why would Lionheart make it a big deal? He doesn't know. He knows Bogo doesn't know, and he is trying to keep it that way. Why would he make it a big deal? Answer, he doesn't. Bellwether does. We see in the movie just how easily, cowed Chief Bogo is.
Oh,
Pun
that's also another
also
thing.
intended.
What was that the idea for Bellwether to be on that moment precisely?
Yes, that's another part of it. Bellwether was there in the ZPD when Mrs. Otterton came and tried to demand to see Chief Bogo. Why would she be there at that time, at that place, ready to get the ball rolling on this case? I believe that Bellwether set her up to it. A hint that, hey, if you go to the ZPD today, I'm sure Chief Bogo will hear you out. Trust me. So she's there, demanding to be seen.
Yeah, she first spoke to Clawhauser, but then she went to Bogo's office.
Yeah, and here's another bit where someone goes off the rails and Bellwether corrects it. Mrs. Otterton slipped away and ran past Clawhauser and outran him.
Yep.
And was able to get to Chief Bogo's office, where he was berating Judy Hopps. Someone that Bellwether knows would absolutely take the case. Basically, Bellwether knows that Judy just arrested one of her agents, Duke Weaselton. She knows that he is being brought into the ZPD and knows from her sources in the ZPD that Bogo is pissed. And it is very convenient that Mrs. Otterton shows up then, isn't it? With Bellwether.
Yeah, because apparently Mrs. Otterton, she appeared by herself. She was alone when we first see her with Clawhauser.
Yeah, but look at her how she is with Assistant Mayor Bellwether. She knows her and trusts her. That is the face of someone who is like, yeah, I trust this person to help me out.
Like, we know that Mrs. Otterton left Bogo's office, and in less than a minute, when apparently Bogo fires Judy, say that she will not be taken.
Yeah, Bellwether appears.
Exactly, in less than a minute. How? That was so fast.
Yep, she was already there. Getting the good news. Awfully convenient, ain't it?
Yeah, she sent the text to
She claims to have sent
the
text to Lionheart.
And now Bogo believes that the mayor already knows that Judy is involved on the missing mammal case.
But even when that is the case... Okay, so... I should have left it open. Look at that face. That is someone who is terrified of her.
Yes. Because she's someone upper in the ranks than him.
Yeah, she's higher than him and is screwing him over, basically, and counteracting what he's saying. He knows she doesn't know exactly what he said, but it is a brilliant move from Bellwether.
Now, how can we certain that she did mention that to Lionheart? We don't know.
We don't know. We just see her tapping at her phone. A phone, she knows, we do know, has a certain phone number attached to it.
Dogs.
Yep. That's the gist of my theory. Basically, she creates this scenario in order to get Lionheart out and her in, and in a position where she can take full advantage of a citywide crisis of her own creation. A crisis she controls perfectly, and, let's not forget, after Judy's press conference, the number of savage mammal cases goes way up. Way up.
Apparently more than 27 cases.
Yes, when previously it had been months of mammals going missing, and Otterton's case was so not considered like priority that he was gone for 10 days.
We can say that he was the 14th mammal to go savage.
Yeah, or among them. We don't know exactly how long it had been going, but...
Because Manchas is the last one. Before they arrest Lionheart.
So, yeah, we've established that Bellwether is very good at planning. She is very good at manipulation. And she is very good at adapting on the fly and guiding towards her desired result. So, what happens when her plans start completely unraveling? Well, she's very smart. She knows Judy Hopps. She knows the naive bunny who is very trusting of authority, who knows her, appreciates her, and such. So, she makes a gamble. She gambles on their connection.
Well, of course, Doug first warns her. At first.
Yes, Doug warns her absolutely. We've got a situation at the lab. Oh, it just got worse. Yeah. He called her and let her know exactly what was up. She knows the train lines. It very well may be that she had that other train diverted to deal with it. Why was this train on a subway track? That's a freight train.
Yeah.
It doesn't... Like, it might be able to clear the ceiling and such, but it's a very narrow ceiling.
The main idea here was to destroy the evidence.
Yes.
That was the objective. To destroy the evidence, so they couldn't blame the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Destroy whatever evidence is available. She doesn't care about the lives of her lackeys. She doesn't care about the lives of Nick and Judy, or anyone else who might get hurt in the incident. To her, it very well could be explained as just another predator gone nuts or some other sort of accident. But she also knows exactly where the train would end up. That's how she was able to get to the Natural History Museum as quick as she did.
There was a dead end.
Yeah, it was a dead end. So, when Judy doesn't immediately accept her help and starts questioning, she goes to just take it. And keep in mind, the Natural History Museum is very close to City Hall and the ZPD. Yes. And
when she settles down and she's like, how did you know we were here? As in,
yeah, Bellwether immediately knew the game was up and made one final play before calling her goons out. And she had already had her biggest enforcer circle around and trap them in. She's clever. She is very clever. And even then, she had them chase after, give chase and such, and she starts monologuing a little bit. She makes an appeal to Judy's status as a prey, a small one, who is underestimated, underappreciated. Aren't you sick of it? And she plays into Judy's anti-predator bias. The bias that she has seen on full display in front of everybody in the city. She doesn't know that Judy's had a change of heart. She doesn't know that she's made up with Nick. She doesn't know that all of that.
Well, she could try to figure that out, considering that she just saw Judy with Nick. Like, why she was with him again.
Yes, but again, Nick is kind of an unknown in her whole plan. He was not supposed to be involved. Yeah, she genuinely does not acknowledge his existence. Because that's her blind spot.
And that's very that's a huge contrast with him, because he says, I know everybody. And he proves it throughout the movie that he does know a lot of people in Zootopia, and he's technically just a hustler.
Yeah. And she doesn't know him. And even then, they are so close to escaping, and she takes full advantage. They are now trapped in the pit, and she's got the dart. Time for a bit more improv. A little bit of talking, a little bit of gloating, but she does go with the next option. Darting Nick to make him kill Judy. That is the only time she acknowledges him. When he is a useful pawn.
Only because he's a predator.
Yeah. In fact, thinking about it, that's pretty much the only time she recognizes anyone, when she sees them as a useful tool, a pawn that she can manipulate and play with. So, she darts Nick, and believing he's about to commit first-degree murder, calls the police.
And actually does call them.
Yeah, actually does call them. And because she wants the headline. Hero cop killed by savage fox. She wants a bloody scene to make an example and to hide everything. She is absolutely unhinged at this point. Like, she is on full display as her true self. Her true intentions, letting Judy see it the moment before she dies. Because in Bellwether's mind, she's dead.
Yeah, because she already targeted Nick.
Bye-bye, Bunny. After the reveal that she'd been hustled, she still does a pretty dang good job of trying to play it off. You see her having to reassess and re-establish, like, okay, this is bad, this is not good, I did just call the police. They are on their way. What's going to happen? Well, it's my word against yours. She didn't count on this either. She didn't count on the carapan, and when she sees that, that is the face of, crap, I've been outplayed.
Yes.
I have fallen victim to my own hubris and have been outplayed just in time for Bogo and the ZPD to arrive. And with the evidence there, they have such a strong case that they're able to prove her conspiracy and send her to prison.
Yes, and she's arrested with along her supporters, Doug and all the other Rams. They're also arrested.
Yes, but no, not Doug. Not Doug.
He's not. Well,
Doug is not one of the Rams there.
That Ram, yes.
No, that's not Doug. Doug's still back at the original lab spot. Doug is still out there. And so is the Rhino.
How many Rams were with her? 3?
3.
Only those 3 then.
There's the Enforcer, Bellwether, and we don't know about the status of the 2 police sheep that were with her. So, her gang very well may still be at large, still plotting something. She may be working with them from within prison. Now, I will say there's a bit of continuity that might be relevant, it might not, but in the Disneyland Shanghai ride, there is a bit where, well, basically the plot of the chase is that Bellwether and 2 of her sheep have broken out of prison. So, at least 2 of them were caught.
But obviously the focus is on her because she was the mastermind behind everything.
Yes. We also don't know about Walter or Jesse. We don't know what happened with them. But they got Bellwether. And here's the part that I think really solidifies her as one of Disney's best villains. All of this very much is realistic.
Yeah. Politicians tend to cover up real life scenarios that happen to people so they won't cause any more havoc.
Not only that, but it is a known tactic that politicians will use fear. They will use, they will take crises and spin them to their advantage. They can even create crises to spin to their advantage. I'm not going to get too political here, but let's just say that there's a lot of connections with government agencies and the drug trade, especially in the 70s and 80s.
Yes, I do believe that's something that people really noted out loud. Hey, why they're talking like low-key there when we see the lab, it's like, hey, this is all about drugs thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's all drugs.
Yeah.
Like, it's very impressive for Disney to imply this on the movie.
And I mean, even in the old Game Theory episode with MatPat talking about Zootopia, he makes the connection between the Night Howlers and the drug crisis of, like, inner city America in the 70s and 80s, which was very heavily politicized, specifically so that politicians could make people afraid of a minority.
Mm-hmm. And here is practically the same thing. They want to target a minority.
Yeah. Bellwether's not a great villain because she's bombastic and exaggerated and, like, over the top. She's not a Frollo, but she is real. She is the sort of villain that exists in our real world. And that is what makes her so terrifying.
Well, still, she doesn't look like it. Of course, because apply the shape and shift.
The whole point of Zootopia is that nobody is as they appear.
Yes.
Not on the surface. Nobody is as their appearance would dictate.
But it also applies the same slogan of anyone can be anything, which is technically true.
Anyone can be anything in Zootopia. I think that's a pretty good place to leave this. But I do hope that everyone who watches this will reconsider what they think about Dawn Bellwether. She's not just a twist villain. She's a real villain. And thank you so much to our live studio audience. You've been fantastic and hope you've had a fun time. If you want to join the live studio audience, $10 tier on patreon.com/ZNN gets you access, and we will let you know when we are recording. We record once a month, and you can join in, ask questions, participate, comment, things of that sort.
You can also suggest ideas for future episodes.
Exactly. And we hope to see you soon for the next one.
Yeah, it will be great to have you guys listening to the recordings before going live. As in, before these episodes are uploaded to our official channels on YouTube and Spotify. Yes.
So, till next time, I'm Andy Lagopus.
And I'm PinkStar.
Thank you all for watching, and boom.